Welcome to another RVing It Up. I'm Mike, and today we dive into the issue of towing capacity. This may not be fun and entertaining, but it may help you stay safe towing that RV down the road. There is some jargon to work through, commonly used terms and acronyms that may make your head want to start spinning. But don't worry, I'm going to walk you through it. GVWR, GAWR, GCVWR, payload, towing capacity, tire air pressure. And finally, when we understand what it all means, we can verify if our rig is within the safe limits determined by the vehicle's manufacturer.
Our first visit to a weigh station was something of a surprise. We were just a few days from moving into our new life of full-time living in our 22-foot travel trailer with a half-ton pickup. Looking at the amount of cargo in our truck and in our RV, we surely had less than what I see many other RVers carrying, but the scale said we were not within our safe limit, and I was shocked. We drive this Silverado, which has a towing capacity of 9,100 pounds. And my trailer weighs only 5,200 pounds when empty. The truck's towing capacity is not the only number to consider though. Look at the stickers that are here inside the vehicle. You usually find them just inside the vehicle's door. They'll tell you what the truck's payload is, what the front axle can carry, and what the rear axle can carry.
Payload is simply how much stuff you're carrying. Every truck, motorcycle, and little red wagon has a maximum payload rating. When a vehicle is carrying more than it was intended for, we increase the stress on the axles, bearings, tires, seals. GVWR, gross vehicle weight rating. This is simply how much the truck weighs, fully loaded. That includes people, bicycles, barbecue, everything. Whether we're towing a trailer or not, the vehicle's maximum safe weight is shown right here on the stickers in the door jamb. In our case, that total is 7,200 pounds, GVWR. GAWR, gross axle weight rating. Two numbers are required here, of course, because we have a front axle and a rear axle. If our cargo isn't distributed well, we can overload one of the axles while still remaining within the allowable GVWR. So, we weigh the front axle alone, and we weigh the rear axle alone, and we verify that each one is safe. Trailer weight. This is what we usually look at when a truck's towing capacity is considered. It is simply the weight of the trailer. The trailer will be rated with a dry weight and a gross weight. Dry weight is measured when the trailer is completely empty. Gross weight is the maximum that it is allowed to weigh after we put in all of our things. Don't forget that does include the water in the tanks. Now if you subtract these two numbers, you can actually see quite easily how much cargo your trailer is allowed to carry. GCVWR is gross combined vehicle weight rating, and it's the maximum allowable weight of the tow vehicle and the trailer combined when we're fully loaded. It includes everything, all fluids, pets, food, everything. In our case, that number is 16,300 pounds. You'll be able to find this number from your tow vehicle manufacturer. Use their website to search the specific truck model that you own, being careful to choose whether your truck is a long box or short box, whether you have two-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, crew cab, double cab, or regular cab, which engine, transmission, rear axle ratio. You have to be specific with the model of your truck.
Believe it or not, we could actually end the video here. That's really all the numbers that we need to consider. But it isn't all that easy to keep within the allowable weight limits. We talk to people all the time who don't plan to carry a lot of stuff, who plan to keep it light and live with less. But that's difficult. The fact is, most of us just keep acquiring stuff. Don't ask me how, but the load just adds up quickly. And there really isn't much payload allowed in a pickup truck. This truck of ours can carry 1,700 pounds of cargo. Remember that the trailer's tongue weight is included as part of that payload. The trailer's weight is supported partially by its axles and partially at the tongue. The tongue weight is the downward force that the tow vehicle's hitch will be expected to carry. Spoiler alert, the tongue weight can get surprisingly heavy and take up a whole bunch of the truck's cargo capacity. And when we went to the weigh scale, we found that our trailer's tongue weighs about 800 pounds once our things are loaded in. That leaves only 1,700 minus 800, 900 pounds of people and things that we can carry. And that includes gas too. So if I'm in the truck with Mike, maybe our grandson is along for a trip, and our usual amount of stuff is in the bed of the truck, we are over the truck's payload capacity quite easily.
What have we noticed as we check on our weight at the scale? We are always well within the truck's GCVWR, and we find that it's easy to keep under that safe limit. But we have to watch the truck's allowable payload, and specifically, we have to keep an eye on the GAWR on our rear axle. This is very common. It's the reason why weight distributing hitches are in use by all of us. These weight distributing bars twist the tow vehicle's frame and the trailer's frame right here at the tow ball, and the result is that a few hundred pounds can be removed from the truck's rear axle. The bars are essentially trying to lift some weight off the rear wheels and redistribute it to the front axle of the truck and to the axle of the trailer. So the big challenge in our case isn't the combined size of our load. The challenge doesn't come from the truck's towing capacity. For us, it's all about how our cargo is arranged in the truck and in the trailer. Truck scales can be found all over Canada and the USA. The safe way to go, for both me as the driver and for others on the road around me, is to occasionally pull over and weigh each of our axles individually. Remember that we tend to complicate this topic a bit, but it really isn't overly difficult. If you're traveling along the highway and local officials are pulling RVers into the weigh station for random safety checks, they will want to see this sticker. Our responsibility as drivers is to keep each of these measured weights below their limits. Thanks, and I look forward to seeing you on the road. Check out some of our other videos and subscribe to our channel.
New content will be posted weekly.